Today we will be learning about print statement in Kotlin. Okay, print statements are basically those statements which have been executed to show something on the screen or display. Okay, so let us just go to any browser and search Kotlin Playground. Kotlin Playground is used as compiler in our Kotlin to run Kotlin codes. Okay, so any Kotlin code can be run on this Kotlin Playground. So I am using this because it is very simple to use. Later on we will be using Android Studio to make applications, not this online compiler. Okay, so this is an online compiler because it is available in browser. You can just search Kotlin Playground and you will get it. Do show that it is from Kotlin Lang. Okay, this is the official website for Kotlin. Now, what does this function mean? Function mean is the entry point. Let us just skip this and assume that we should write this compulsory just to run our code. Anything written inside this will be executed inside this flower brackets. Okay, so let us just write a print statement, that is print hello world, and just run this code. So this is a hello world. Now you can see I have written hello world, so hello world has been printed. If I write something different, hello different, will this code run? Yes, it will run and it will print hello different. Okay, now if you want to write this different in the new line, you can see hello different is in a single line. I want to separate this. What I will do is I will use a slash in. Okay, so hello different, you can see the different is in a new line now. Okay, so what I will do, I will remove this print statement and write another one called println. Println stands for new line. Okay, so this is the best method to write any print statement. I use this. Now let us understand what this function stands for. This function main is called as the entry point of an Kotlin code. Inside this flower brackets, whatever you will write will be executed by the compiler. What is this compiler? This compiler is an online compiler uh, which runs the Kotlin code. You can see it. It is written Kotlin. Now just write a print statement. Just print a hello world. Hello world. Now you can see that hello world is been displayed, all because I have written hello world over here. Okay, why I have used these two quotations? You can see here two quotations. These two quotations are used to denote a text message. Okay, for example, this hello world is a text, right? It is made up of group of characters or alphabets, so this is called as a string in our coding language. So to display text, we need to use these two quotations, this one and this one. Inside this quotation, whatever you will write will be printed by this print statement. Now, let us assume I want to write this hello in a line and world I want to write in the new line. I will just use slash n for this. Now, the world will be printed in a new line. Just run this code and you can see hello and world is printed in a new line. Okay, so let us just remove this and we will run another statement called println. Println, in which ln stands for new line. Okay, just we will write hello println and world. Now this both statement will be run in a new line. Okay, let us just run this code. You can see hello is written in a line whereas world is written in another line. So this is the power of new line, that is ln. So print ln. What will happen if I just use print instead of println? You can see the everything is written in a single line. You can see, even though I have used two separate lines for this code, but still it has been printed in a single line. To avoid this, we use print ln. So now hello and world is printed in a new line. Okay, we can also use this method called print, and then we will just write hello world, and just to use a backslash here over here to separate the world from this. Just run the code and you can see hello and world is printed on two different lines. Okay, but we prefer print ln, so we prefer this one in which we write hello, just copy it, and world. Okay, as you can see, both have been written on different lines, hello and world. Okay, so this is better approach. Now let me tell you one thing. In function main, the code will run in a sequential order. That means this hello will always run first, then this world will run. Okay, so this is the first line of execution, this is the second line of execution. Okay, so first hello is been printed, then world is been printed. Okay, and let me revise everything what I have told you. This function main is the compulsory step. You need to do this to execute the Kotlin code. Okay, so inside this bracket whatever you will write will be executed by the Kotlin compiler. What is the compiler? Compiler is this thing which is running the Kotlin code. Okay, now print statement is used to write texts on to display the text basically, not write. And what is this ln used for? Next line or new line. So this is all about this video. Today's topic is single line and multi-line comments. Okay, now let us assume you have joined a company where you write some code. Okay, so the code is of 1,000 lines. Now another employee wants to read your code and he finds very difficult as it is 1,000 lines and he do not understand what you have written. So comments plays a very important role. For example, this is your code. Assume you are writing a print statement, which I have taught in previous video. The link is in the description. So just write hello world. Now the another person comes to and assume that it is written multiple times. Okay, just let us make this code little big. Okay, do not understand this. So what you will do is you will add some comments. For example, this is code for hello world. So now he can read this. Okay, so what will happen if you don't use this double slash? Let us just run this code and you can see this is an error. It is saying that this language is not understandable by the compiler. So what we can do is we can use this double slash and run the code. Now you can see your code is running pretty well. Why did I use this double slash? This double slash will do is that this will ignore this line. Now the compiler will ignore this line. This is for human understanding. So this compiler will ignore this line. Now what if I want to write comment of multiple lines? For example, this is a multiple line. You cannot keep putting double slash every time. For example, if I want to just comment this out by the single, by the way, this is called as single line comment. Now if I want to comment here as well, I can do it. But if there are multiple lines in your comment, it is better approach to use slash with an asterisk and end star with an slash. Okay, so this is the basic syntax for multiple line comment. Okay, So let me just summarize. This is the single line comment with a double slash. This is the compiler will ignore this line and it is called a single line comment. Okay, and if there are multiple line comments, you can just use a slash with an asterisk and slash with an asterisk with an slash. Okay, so this will comment out, basically ignore, and you can run the code. Your code is still running. What will happen if I remove this? It is giving an error saying I don't know this language. So just use slash asterisk. Let us just run the code, and it is working pretty fine. You can see it is working pretty fine. So today we are gonna learn what is val and var. Okay. So in last class we have discussed about print statements. Now we will be working with val and var. Consider you want to store the data temporarily. Okay. For example, I want to store some data temporarily. So what data I want to store? For example, integer, that is 20. I want to store some string. For example, hello world. So this is string, as I explained in last class. The link is in the description. So I want to store this temporarily. So what I can do? I can create a box in our RAM. Okay. So this is a box in our RAM and assign it value. For example, 20. So this is a box. I have assigned the value 20. So basically this box is our RAM. This box is our RAM. Okay. So let us add a text. So this is our RAM. So we want to assign the value 20. Okay. So that's all we are going to do in this video. So let us go to our coding section, that is Kotlin Playground. If you are unable to search this, you can go to Chrome and search Kotlin Playground. The first link from Kotlin Lang, you have to click it and you will enter this interface. Okay. So this is from last class. We will just remove this. Now let us use val age is equals to 20. For storing numbers, you can directly use 20. Okay, so this is an assignment operator. So this equal to is called as assignment operator. Assignment operator. Okay, so this is an assignment operator, and here val is used to temporarily store the data. So now we can print this data as well. So let us just print age, and what will be the output? As you can see, output is 20. So val age is the name of the variable which we have given. So what are the variables? Variables are the box, and name of this variable is age. Okay, so this will initialize the variable val, will initialize the variable age is the name of the variable. This is the assignment operator and this is the value. Okay, so what will be our syntax? Just write syntax. Val is compulsory step. Any name for variable, name of variable, you should give a space. Of course you should give a space, then the assignment operator, and then you can declare the value, declare value. Okay, so this is all about declaring value using val. Now the thing is, you cannot change the values which are declared using val. Okay, so age is equals to 30. I am trying to assign it 30 now. My age has been increased. Now I am trying to increase my age by assigning the age variable 30. Actually I have written wrong spelling. Let us just correct it. Age. So now let us run the code. You are getting a error saying val cannot be reassigned. Yes, val cannot be reassigned, as once store the value, you cannot change the value in val. So this is wrong. Let us just remove this and run the code. The code is running pretty fine. Now let us use some different data type. Let us just store string. Okay, string hello world. You all know what is string, as I have explained in our print video. Okay, so you can see hello world has been printed. So you can just declare variables of multiple types. Later we will learn about strings and integers, booleans, and all of this stuff in our later on classes. For now, just assume that this is a box which will store some value. So this is a string basically. Now if you want to store number, we can just use this. You can see we have printed a integer value. Okay, later on we will learn how to store decimal values and stuff. For now, this is enough. Now what is var? You can see that val do not change the value. Okay, so val, we cannot reassign the value, but in val you can reassign the value. That's only the difference. Okay, so let us guess our age is 18. Old enough, old enough, completely old enough. Now let us just reassign the age is equals to 25, and now print age. Of course we'll print the age. Just run the code. Okay, so 25. You can see the age is reassigned here. At this step, our age is 25. What will happen if I remove this print statement from here and paste it over here? Okay, and just run the code. You can see the age is 18. But why? Our age should be 25, right? No, you are completely wrong. It is because the Kotlin code will run in sequential order. So this is the first step. Sorry, I mean this is the first step where we assign the value 18. Now we will print the value that is 18, because here we have not assigned 25 yet. In next step we reassign it to 25. Okay, so it will go in sequential order. First line of execution, second line of execution, third line of execution. So if I reprint the value here, that is age, what should be the output? Definitely it should be 25. You can see why it is in one line. Of course, you can use println to do that stuff. Just use println and println. Okay, you can see 18 and 25. So this is the difference between var and val. Val cannot be reassigned. If I just make it val, you cannot reassign it. It is completely wrong. And in var, you can reassign it. Of course, you have seen in the example. So this is all about var and val. Okay, you should remember this step. I mean syntax that I have told you. I will provide you notes later on this course. But for now, take a screenshot. Welcome everyone. Today we are going to learn about data types in Kotlin. As we know, we want to work with multiple types of data. For example, in yesterday's class, we have learned about val and var. We were storing some data, but what type of data we exactly want to store? Today we will learn that. Okay, so we have many types of data, as you can see here: char, string, int, float, double, long, boolean. I will explain all. Okay, so for now we know what is string. We were using it in print statement in double quotation. We have used some int to store numerical values. Okay, so now we will learn first what is char. Okay, so let us go to our Kotlin studio. Okay, so if you want to access this page, you can just go to Kotlin playground, search Kotlin playground in your browser, and just click on the first link, which is from kotlinlang.org. Okay, so now let us store a value char. Okay, so char is just like a alphabet. So alphabet, char is just like a alphabet. Let us store the alphabet A. So this is a single letter, single alphabet. So a single alphabet is called as characteristics. Sorry, char in our Kotlin program. So char. So this is called as char. Let us just print it. And alphabet. Let us print alphabet. Alphabet. Okay. So what will be the output? Of course, it will be A. So this is an alphabet. What will happen if I give double C here? Too many characters in our character literal. That means char can have only one letter or alphabet. Therefore, it is called as char. What if we want to store multiple amount of data? I mean multiple alphabets. So we can use string. So we will remove this and now we will call it a string. Okay. So let us just store. We will use a double quotation as we know we used in print statements. Just we will write something. Now let us print. Okay, now let us print this. The output will be hello from Kotlin. No problem, no problem. Okay. So if we want to store a single alphabet, we will use a single quotation and it is called as char, and this is called a string. As we are using multiple alphabets, words, letters, can we store integer value in string? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can store number as well, but it will be considered as letters. So the data type will still remain string only. So how can we store numerical values? We can store numerical values by simple method. For example, age, using numbers. Okay, we don't have to use double quotation. We don't have to use double quotation. Integer numbers don't need a double quotation. They are self type. Okay, so they are just like another category. Okay, so you don't need to have any special quotation like stuff here. You just need to declare it age 25. Let us just print the age, and we already know the output. We already know the output will be 25. No problem, no problem at all. Okay, so now let us learn about. We have covered char, string, int. Now let us learn about float. Float is decimal points. Okay, so float is all about decimal points. If you want to store a decimal number, 0.5, let us just print the age. You can see this is a decimal point. Okay, so this is a decimal value. Now let us just see what type it is. Okay, let us just print age class. Don't worry, this is nothing but just it prints the class. Okay, class in the sense what type of data it is. So it is a double. But why it is a double? When I said, in fact I said that decimal points are called as floats. Okay, so then how can I convert this data type into float? I can just add a f. Now just run. You can see now it is a float. float Float data type do receive decimal points, I mean decimal numbers. You can see it is still a float. Okay, now let us just run the age. You can see after 4 the numbers are not been printed. You can see this 98 is not been printed. So float has some limitations. You can only store the decimal which are of this degree. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 decimal values. Okay, but with double you can store almost more numbers compared to float. Okay, now let us just print. Okay, you can see you can see that double has more number of degree of precision compared to float. So this is a double data type and this is a float. The first one I taught was the float data type. How to convert double into float? Just add a f. Now it will be automatically converted to float value. You can see now it is float. If I just print its class, class in the sense data type, this this will return data type. You can see it is a float. Now if I remove the f and just print it, you can see it is a double. Okay, we have completed float, double. Now what is long? Now let us discuss long. Okay, so consider I put this value. This is a phone number. Let us put this phone number and just print it. It is written age, but actually this is a phone number just for the reference. Okay, let us learn this code. You can see it says long, but when I reduce the number and run this code, it says int. Why is that? Int has limitations. Int support uh, int do not support as many number as possible, so we use long to overcome this vulnerability. So that's all. So long can be used to store the phone numbers and etc. Whereas if you have numbers like only this much, you can basically use integer. Okay, that's all. This is all about long. Now what are boolean? Boolean are some important data types. Okay, consider I give you a statement. Do you like ice cream? What would you answer? You would answer yes or no. Or I can say true or false. Do you like ice cream? True. Or maybe false. So basically boolean values are all about true and false. Okay. For example, let us take a variable. Do you like ice cream? Yes, I like ice cream. Yes, true. So let us just print this value. I think copying is a better approach. Okay, let us just print this. It says yes, I do like ice cream. Now, I don't like ice cream. Let us just use false. Okay, yes, it is false. Then what are Boolean values? Boolean values are basically nothing but true and false. The output will be returned as true or false, are called as Boolean values. So Boolean values are used in very logical terms, I mean in logical operations, where we need to perform multiple actions based on logic. So for now, you can just understand that Boolean value stores true or false. So this is a very simple example. You can note this down. We have covered Boolean as well. So we have covered character, I mean char, which consists of only one alphabet. String consists of multiple alphabets or even sentences. Integers are simple numbers, maybe a small number like this. Float is nothing but a decimal value with some less order of precision. For example, 8 point this or something. Whereas double is a decimal value with higher order. I mean higher precision. So maybe like this. Long stands for a value which is greater than integer. Okay. And boolean is of course true and false. This is all about it. Hello. Today we are working with operators in our Kotlin. So the first operator is the additional operator. Additional operator. The sign is same as in mathematics, that is the addition plus symbol. Now let us declare two variables, a and a variable b. Now let us add these both variables. So the first variable has the value 10 and the second variable has the value 20. Now let us add these both variables. So the variable c will store the value of a and b. So let us just add a plus b. Now what is happening is variable a has the value 20, sorry 10, variable b has the value 20. Now when we assign c value is equals to a plus b, this is called assignment operator, this is called assignment operator. So what will happen is 10 plus 20, the c value will get 10 plus 20. So let us print this. What will be the output? The output will be 30. Yes, you can see 30. Not only this, you can perform addition operator right over here. It remains the same. Now let us just print a. What will be the output? The output will be 30. You can see a is equals to 10 plus 20. 10 plus 20, this will be added, so the output is 20. The 20 will be stored in a and then we print a, that is 30. Now let us move to our second operator, that is minus. Okay, so let us just print this. 10 minus 20. 10 minus 20 will be minus 10. So it is printed. Okay. Now let us just perform an operation. Let var a be 10 and let variable b is equals to 5. Now let us do variable a minus b. Variable a minus variable b. 10 minus 5. What will be the output? 5. So we have learned the basics, plus and minus. Now let us work with our multiplication. So multiplication is not denoted by x over here, that is a cross mark. Instead we use this symbol. This is called as asterisk symbol. Now let us just print the output. You can see 50. 10 into 5, 50. So you can perform the same over here just by adding a asterisk and 5. Let us just print a. What will be the output? The output will be 50, as a is equals to 10 and this is asterisk or the multiply symbol. 10 into 5 is 50. The variable a is assigned with 50 and we just print the value of a, that is 50. Now let us perform division over here. Let us perform division. Division is very simple. We just remove this and we use a slash. Now just run the code and you can see 10 divided by 5 is equals to 2. Yes, this is accurate. Now let us take another example. Variable a is equals to 10 and variable b is equals to 5. Now let us perform the same operation we performed before. A divided by b. The output will be 2. So what it does? Variable a stores 10, variable b stores 5. A divided by b, and this is a division symbol. Okay, this is a division symbol. So we have learned plus, minus, multiply and also divide. Now there are two more operators which are very important and constantly used. Okay, so let us remove this and let us just print a. What is the value of a? 10. Now let us just increment a. What will happen? The output will still remain same, but what will happen if I add two plus symbols at the beginning? Now you will notice some difference. Okay, why 11 is printed? You can see this is called as pre-increment. Pre-increment in the sense, first we add plus 1 to the number. Okay, for example, the variable a has value 10. Plus a stands for a is equals to a plus 1. So a plus 1. So a is equals to a plus 1. That means a is equals to 10. I mean, a is equals to 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. So the value of a will be 11. Okay. So this pre-increment is very simple. It just adds the value by 1. Okay. Now, now in a++, what will happen is first the a value will be printed, then the operation a is equals to a plus 1. A is equals to a plus 1 is performed. That means when we print, we get the value of a first, later it will be incremented by 1. If I add another statement and just print the value of a, you will get the output as 10 and 11. Okay, now what is happening? The first thing that happens is first we print this a plus plus. A plus plus stands for a is equals to a plus 1. That is a is equals to a plus 1. Now the value of a will be printed first. Value of a will be printed first, that is 10. Then it will be incremented by 1. This is the equation. Now the a value is incremented by 1, that is 11. Now if you print the a again, the value remains the same, as the increment operator increases the value by 1 only once. Okay, you can see 11, 11, 11. I forgot to add ln, that's why it is in such a format. Now the two things that I told you was the pre-increment and the post-increment. Okay, so the pre-increment stands for double plus at the beginning, whereas the post-increment stands for double plus at the ending. If you add double plus at the beginning, it will stand for pre-increment, which will increment the number first. That means when you print the value is already changed. The 10 will be changed to 11. But the post increment thing is, it will first it will run the value of a, that is 10, then it will increment the value. This is all the difference. Now let us learn about decrement operator. Let us print a minus minus. Nothing happens. Let us just print it below. Print a. What you can see? 10 minus 1, that is 9. The first thing is it prints the value of a, then it decrements. So the second value will be 9. The first value will be 10 as it is. Now let us add it as starting of the let us add it as starting. Now what will happen? Now it will be 9 and 9. Okay, that means it has first decremented the value, that is equals to a is equals to a minus 1. This will be the equation. So this is called as decrement operator. This is very important and we will be learning it again and again, so you will not forget. So don't worry if you don't understand it now, you will understand it later on again. So this is all about operators. There are many other operators, but these are the important things which we require in Android development. For now, just learn them and try to use them. You will not understand them just by watching the video. You need to go through all of this. You need to practice this 5 to 10 times. Okay. In today's video, we are going to discuss about comparison operator. Comparison operator are like less than, greater than, double equal to. Okay, so these are the comparison operator. Comparison or operator are used in real life as well. For example, you want to compare your marks with your friend's marks. You just compare like my marks are greater than yours. For example, if your marks are less, my marks are less than yours. So this is how we compare two things. Okay. So in programming, we have comparison operators. We have greater than, great, that is this symbol, greater than. We have less than, and we have double equal to. Double equal to means just means that one value is equals to other value. For example, your friend's marks is 79 and yours is 79 as well. So the marks are equal. So this is how we represent them. We have less than or equal to, less than or equal to. We have greater than or equal to, that will be greater than and equal to. So these are some symbols which we will be using throughout the video. So let us just code. Let us assume value 7 is greater than 6 5. Okay, I mean for example 7 is greater than 5. Yes, this is true. 7 is actually greater than 5. 7 is greater than 5, so this will return the output as true. Let us just print it. So this is our output. This is true. Okay, now example, if I just make it less than, so 7 is 7 less than 5, it is false, so the output will be false. Okay, so is 7 double equal to 5, that means is 7 equal to 5? No, no, obviously not. Note, we should use a double equal to operator here, not a assignment operator. Assignment operator is a single equal to, but while comparing we use double equal to. So this is how we compare them. For example, now let us go with another example where we make 6 less than or equal to 6. Will this return true? Yes, it returns true. So this is all about comparison operators. This is a very important topic. For now, just understand the part. Later on, we will work with more examples. Okay, let me just summarize. First of all, this is greater to symbol. So this is used to compare. Okay, for example, if 6 is greater than 6, it will return true. If not, it will return false. So 6 is not greater than 6. Of course, it is not greater. 6 is double equal to 6. Okay. So next operator we learned is double equal to. That is true. Yes. 6 is double equal to 6. Yes, it is true. Is 6 less than or equal to 6? What will it return? What will it return? Yes, it will return true because yes, here we have a equal to operator. So 6 is equal to 6. Yes, the condition satisfied. So now we have greater than, less than, and double equal to, greater than equal to, and less than equal to. These are all about, this is all about operators, comparison operators specifically. So you should practice a little more to get familiar with them, and try making some small codes. Okay, so this is all about it. Hello everyone. So in yesterday's class we have discussed about greater than. So in yesterday's class we have discussed about many topics like greater than, less than, double equal to, less than or equal to, and greater than and equal to. Okay, so we already know we will write a value like 3 is greater than 2. Yes, this is true. So it will return the output in true and false. What are these true and false? They are called as Boolean values. We already know that. So today we are working with a very important topic called logical operators. Logical operators. Okay. So there are three types of logical operators. The first one is called as AND, whereas the second one is called as OR, and the third one is called as NOT. These are very important as they help us to make logical statements. Okay, so for example, the AND gate is very useful and it is usually denoted by double AND. Okay, so this is the representation of AND. When we will code, you will better understand this. For now, you just remember this is the symbol for AND. Now let us see what is OR, how it is represented. OR is represented by two lines. Okay, two lines. These two lines denote OR. Now what is NOT? NOT is denoted by a exclamatory symbol. So this is a NOT. Okay. Now we will understand what is AND first. Okay. So let us just go below. Make a new text. Let me just increase the size a little bit. Let color be white. White is better, right? Okay. Now we will learn about AND. Okay. Consider you have a variable which is assigned to value true. Uh, True is a Boolean value, of course, and we have another value which is assigned to true as well. When we do A and B, A variable A and B variable B both have true. So this A has value true, whereas this B has value true as well. You can see here true and true. The output will be true. In AND gate, when both the values are true, 1, 2, both the values are true, then the output will be true as well. Okay, so you understand this. If A is true and B is true as well, A and this is the representation of AND A and B will be true. Okay, so this is the first case. Now let us take another example where we have C which is true but D is false. Okay, now when we do C and D, the output will be false, because you can see the first variable is true whereas the second variable is false. So therefore C and D will be false. Okay, now what will happen if I replace this true with false and this false with true? The result remains same, as because it don't have both true. It has one false and one true. It will return false only. Okay, but what will happen if I replace both with false? Now we have false and false. False and false is also false. The output will be false as well. Okay, so this is all about AND. If you remember this, your job is done. Your job is absolutely done with AND gate. Now let me just add a text field and give you a brief idea. So let us just change the color. Okay, now I will take variable A, I will leave some space, variable B, leave some space, and this is the output. Let us just go down. Consider A is true and B is true. What will be the output? The output will be true. Okay, now next one. Consider A is false but B is true. The output will be false. In AND gate, this is AND. Okay, this is AND. Okay, so next one. Consider this is true and B is false. What will be the output? Of course false. Now next one. The variable A is false and second one is false as well. The output will be of course false. So this is all about AND gate. So if A is true and true, this will return true. If B is false, A is false and B is true, it will return false. True and false, false, false and false, of course false. So I will just write the statement over here. I will just increase the size, change the color, and I will write and only when both are true. Okay, when both are true, it will return true. This is all about and. Now let us just practically work on this. We will go to our Kotlin playground. So this is the Kotlin playground. You can access it using this link called as Kotlin line. Just search Kotlin playground. You will get the link. Okay, let us just do the practical implementation. We will first try this example. Okay, this and true and declaring two variables a and b, and then performing this one. You can see here this section. Now let us just perform that. We will declare a variable a and assign it to true, whereas we will declare a variable b and let us just assign it to false. Sorry, true. First we will learn true and true. Okay, now let us just perform the action, that is and logic. Okay, so a double and b, and just run the code. Yes, you can see the first value is true, whereas the second value is true as well. Okay, when we perform and logic, we both have true, so the output will be true as well. Okay, so this is returning true, this is returning true. Okay, so this is all about AND gate. Now let us work with OR gate. Let us go to classroom and work with OR gate. Now let us understand OR logic. What it is denoted by? It is denoted by these lines. Okay, now okay, consider we have a variable which has value true and a b has false. Okay, in OR gate, if one value is true, so the one value is true, the output will be true. Okay, so when we do a or b, the value will be true. Do you understand this? If one variable has the value true, the output will be true. But in OR AND gate, you can see that if one value is true, the output will be false. It is only true when both the values are true here. You can see true, true, the output will be true. But in this case, if one value has true and one value has false, the output will be true only. Okay, so this is all about OR gate. So what will be the value of true and true? It will be true only. Okay, so let me just make a table for OR gate so you can understand it better. It is a little confusing, but anyways, if we make the table, you will understand it. So let us work. Consider a variable a, consider a variable b, and consider this as output. Now first one, if the variable a has value true, whereas b has true, the output will be true. Okay, now the variable a has true but b has false, the value will be true as well. Consider you have a false and true, the value will be true. Now consider you have false and another false, the output will be false as well. Okay, so the OR gate will return true even if there is one true present in our case. You can see here we have two true, no problem, the output will be true, whereas if you have one true, it will return true as well. Okay, you can see here one true, the output is true, but here we don't have any true, we have both false. A also is false and b also is false, so the output will be false. Okay, so this is all about OR gate. So let us just go to our Kotlin and work with OR gate. Now let us just replace this. So this is A or B. Now let us just run the code. The output will be true because first one is true and second one is true as well. Okay, now let us just replace the B with false. What will be the output? The output will be true because A has a value true in it. So A or B will be true because A has one value at least which is true. That's the reason why. Okay, so this is OR gate, not AND. If it was AND gate, consider this was an AND gate. What will be the output? The output will be false because AND gate only gives the value true when both the values are true. If B also is true, then only AND gate will return the value true. But we are not working with AND gate now, we are working with OR gate. So we don't have to worry about it. So OR gate will return true even if there is only one. So let us just change the second value, I mean the value of A to false as well. What will be the output? Let us just go to table. You can see false and false will make false. Run the code. You can see the output is false. The output is false because the first value is false and second value is false. A or B, false and false, will return the output as false. Okay, so this is all about OR gate. Now if you are confused, I will give an example. This example is from YouTube, I guess, but this is a good example. Now I will tell you how this works. Example: consider A and B is a bad boy. Okay, it needs ice cream as well as chocolate. Okay, it wants ice cream and chocolate. Understanding? Ice cream and chocolate. If we give it ice cream, this is ice cream and this is chocolate, then it will be happy. That is true. Yes. If I give it a ice cream and a chocolate, it will be happy and it will give true result. Okay. But if I don't give it ice cream, I just give it chocolate, it will not be happy. If I give it ice cream but not chocolate, okay, so it will not be happy. If I don't give it, but of course it is not happy. It is not happy at all. Now, all is a good child. Okay, all is a good child. Consider this is an ice cream and this is B. This is an chocolate. Okay, ice cream, chocolate, ice cream, chocolate. Okay, when I give it ice cream and chocolate, it is happy, very happy, no problem. But when I give it only ice cream but not chocolate, it is still happy because at least it has ice cream, right? Okay, now I don't give it ice cream but I give him chocolate, it is still happy because it at least have a chocolate. And if I don't give it both, of course it will cry, it is a baby, right? So this is all about OR gate and AND gate. So this was a practical example for AND gate and OR gate. Let us just implement in code. Okay, now let us declare ice cream. Let us give our child ice cream and chocolate. CHOCKLA. I don't know the spelling right. Okay, let us just give it both. So now let us work with AND child. Just print ln. So ice cream and is represented by this symbol and chocolate. Okay, CKLT. Okay, now just run the code. Okay, so it is returning true because this is an AND child. Both the values are true, means I have given it ice cream as well as chocolate. It is happy. Now if I just change the chocolate to false, that means I'm not giving it a chocolate. Now it is crying, it is saying it is false. Okay, because this is a AND child, basically a bad child. That's all. Now let us just work with OR gate. If I replace this with OR gate, that is the good child, it will be happy at least I have ice cream to eat, right? Even if I don't have chocolate, I have ice cream. So this was the practical example of both AND gate and OR gate. Now let us work with NOT. Let us just work with NOT. This is very simple. If you understand AND gate and OR gate, this one is just piece of cake. Now let us just work with NOT gate. NOT gate. Let us just work with NOT gate. Now consider a child which will do opposite of what you tell it. Okay, for example, we have a child A. If I tell it don't do any task, it will do it. It will do it. But if I tell the child not to do some task, it will not do anything. Okay, so this is all about not gate. If you understand this, it is pretty simple. Now let us just make a table. You will understand better. You will understand this very better if I make a table. Okay, so this is a variable A or a child. Let us just write child. And this is the output. Output in the sense the task it is doing. Output. Okay. Now let us just tell the child uh, do your homework. Do your homework. It will not do it. Now if I tell the child not to play, that is false. Not to play. Not to play. Then what it will do? It will play. So this is all about not gate. Now let us just practically implement this and see. So let us just declare a variable. Please study for exam. Please study for the exam. Okay, and let us just make it true because it is a positive. Just I want to show you. Okay, please study for the exam. I made it true, and now let us just print it. Not is represented by exclamatory mark. This is the exclamatory mark, and now just copy this. Instead of writing, I will just copy it because it is a big variable, and run the code. You can see the child is doing opposite of what I am telling. It is not studying. You can see please study for the exam is true, but this is not doing what I said. It is doing the opposite thing. So it is not studying at all. So it is the value is false. Okay, now if I tell this not to study, now it is studying. Okay, because it is true, right? It is studying now. So this is all about not gate. So some easy examples: variable a is equals to true, println not of not of a. What? Okay, so it is telling false. The opposite of true is false. Now what will be the opposite of false? It will be true. That's all. So not gate basically uh, is opposite. For example, opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true. This is all about not gate. So these three are very important as they help us to build logic in our programs. Okay. For example, a practical example would be if password is equal to and login, the user is login to the account, return true, then we will perform some task. You will understand this later on, but for now you just understand this stuff. Okay, so I will just summarize for your better understanding. And will return true only when both the values are true. True and true, it will return true. Rest all, it will return false. Okay, now next thing, in OR gate it is a good child, so it will return true even if you have one true. Okay, even if you have one true. So you can see we have two true, no problem, it is extra, it will be happy. But here you can see it has only one true, so it is returning true, still returning true. So this is all about OR gate. But when it is false, it will of course return false. You at least need one true to make it true. Okay, now not gate just does opposite of what I say. So if the child is told that study, it will not study. If it is told not to play, it will play. So just true opposite is false, false opposite is true. All about and, or, and not. Okay, so you just need to practice a little bit. These are some difficult topics, I know, but still they are useful. So and returns value true when both are true, or returns true even if we have one true, and not is just opposite, true false, false true. So this is all about logical operators. Hello, today we are working on conditional statements, that is if and else. Okay, so before starting that, let us discuss some key points. If you want to check a condition, that means for example, is it is raining. If it is raining, take a umbrella. If it is not raining, don't take a umbrella. These are called as if else conditions. Okay, if it is raining, take your umbrella. If it is not raining, you don't have to take any umbrella. Okay, so these are how conditional statements work. For example, if your age is 18, if your age is 18, it will allow you to vote. If your age is below 18, it will not allow you to vote. So this is how we will build a system. Okay, now let us build that program right here. First we will declare a variable. For example, my age is 20. So let us start with a if condition. If age is greater than or equal to 18, because 18 is the standard age for anything. Okay, for voting, for any big parties, you need to be 18 minimum. So I will just pass age which should be greater or equal to 18. I will explain this code. First I will write it. It should just print you can vote. Okay, now next step. Okay, now let me summarize this code. First of all, we declared a variable in which we have stored an integer value 20. So it is a variable name is age in which we have stored 20. Okay. Okay. So I have written a condition called if. Okay. If our age is greater than or equal to 18, that means what will this comparison operator return? A boolean value. Okay. So if this is true, do this. If this is false, that is else. If this condition is false, do this. Okay, so let me just add a comment and show you how this works. Okay, if true, please do this. Else means it is false. Okay, else means false condition. Else if it is false, do this. Okay, so this is how if else works here. If the output is, that means if the condition is true, this is a condition, right? This is a condition. If the condition is true, you have to do this. I mean, you have to execute this. Else means if this condition is false, then you need to do this or execute this step. Now let me just run this code and see the output. You can see now it is printing you can vote. Because my age is 20, now it will compare age is greater than and equal to 20. So you can see age is 20, 20 greater than or equal to 18. Yes, it is true. So if condition gets the value true, so here it will be evaluated as true. If now the if condition is true, so this line will be executed. Now let me just remove this and run the code. Now our age is 2. Now if I run the code, the age will be 2, which is greater than or equal to 18. This will return a false value. So this statement will return a false value, and this if statement I mean, if this execution line will be skipped and else condition will be printed, because this this returns false. When this return false, this block of code will not be executed. Instead, this else will be printed. Instead, this else condition will be printed. Now let me just run the code. You can see you cannot put. It is not like only it will work with comparison operator. There are many things it will work with if and else condition. Okay, so there are many things you can work with in this if and else condition. For now, we have done this for simple example. Okay, I mean, we have just took a simple example to make you understand. Later on in the course, we will be working on complex data structures in which we will be using if and else condition, nested if else conditions and all. For now, just understand that if the condition is true, this line, this block will be executed. But if this condition is false, this block will be executed. Okay. Now let me just summarize a simple code. Let me take my age as 20. Now it will compare here. My age is 20. Is 20 greater than or equal to 18? Yes, it is true. Now if we'll get true, so this output will be printed. This block will be executed. If my age is less, for example 2, my it will compare now. 2 is greater than or equal to 18. It is false. Now this line will be executed. This is all about if and else condition. If and else condition will be used in many applications. For example, you are making a login page and stuff. So if and else will be repeated multiple times. So don't have to learn the things. You can easily understand it later on. For now, just understand this is used for this type of situations. Okay. So you can practice many questions. I will share that in description and comment section. Okay, with if and else condition. Okay, now let us take another example. Now let us declare a variable called is raining. Now let us set it as true for now. Okay, now what I will do, if it is raining, you should do is take a umbrella, because if it is raining you will take a umbrella. You take a umbrella. Okay, now if it is not raining, that is else don't need a condition because it is by default understood. For example, if this is true, of course the other condition will evaluate to false. Okay, so you don't have to mention specifically. You don't need an umbrella. Okay, now let us start to understand what I have written. Now is raining is a variable which is true. If it is raining, that is true. If true, println you can take an umbrella. If it is not raining, the opposite of this, opposite of is raining, opposite of true is false. If it is not raining, you don't need an umbrella should be printed. For now, it is raining. So the value is true. Now the if will go and check the variable. What is this holding? It is holding true. Now this block of execution will be executed. This block will be executed. So print you can take umbrella will be executed. Okay. Now let me just run the code. Very simple. You can take an umbrella. Now consider it is not raining. Just run the code. You don't need an umbrella. Okay. Why it is so? Because this is false. If raining, that is false. If raining, that is false. If it is false, it will be executed in else block. Okay. So this is how it works. Now this statement will be printed because it is false. Okay, if will be executed only if the answer evaluates to true, but else condition will be printed if the value is evaluated to false. Okay, so this is all about if and else condition. This is a very simple example. The before example was simple too. Now you can practice more questions. So today we are going to learn about nested if else statement. We have already uh, understood about if and else, a basic idea. Okay, so today also we will get a basic idea about nested if and else condition. For example, checking multiple conditions with the help of if and else statements. Okay, so very simple concept. Even if you don't understand now, you will understand it later. For now, just bear with me. Okay, now let me declare a variable named number. So I will initialize the value 1. This is a variable number 1. Okay. Now let me just add a condition. If number is double equal to 1, I just want to print this is number 1. Okay. Now the next, if the number is not 1, we will just print this is not a number 1. Not 1. Okay. You can see if the number is 1, it will print this statement, and if it is not number 1, it will print this statement. Very simple. Yesterday we have already implemented this code, implemented the same code. Okay, now let me just run the code. Very simple. This is number 1. For example, we want to check the condition for 2 also. That means let me just add a code, you will understand it. Don't worry, I will explain it. Just wait for a minute. Okay, now let me just run this code. Okay, now it is printing as number 1. For what this code is actually doing is it will initialize a number, and it will check two conditions instead of one. In last code, only this condition would be checked. That is, if number is double equal to 1, it would say number is equals to 1. It will just print this line, and if number is not equal to 1, it will just print this statement. Very simple code. Okay, but I want to check for multiple conditions. For example, I want to check for 2 as well. I want to check for 2 as well. If the number is 2, I want to do different task. I don't want to print this one, or I don't want to print else condition. For example, first and second position are important for me. I want to perform different tasks. Okay, so this is now. If I just change the number, assume I change the number to 2, what will, okay, now it is printing this is 2. Okay, why is it so? First, I have declared a variable of value 2. Now it will check this condition. Is number double equal to 2? No. Okay, now it will check this condition. If number double equal to 2, yes, it is equal. So it will print this one. Now what is the purpose of learning this? This else if condition is used if you want to nest multiple conditions, not only if and else. If you want to check for 3 as well, I will just copy this code. If you want to check for 3 as well, you can just replace the number and check for 3 as well. Okay, so very simple. So this is all about nested if and else condition. Nested if and else condition will be covered again in later on course. For now, this is just a base for you. So I will just summarize very easily. I have declared a variable. Simple if condition. If number is 1, just do this or execute this specifically. If number is equals to 2, do this. If number is equals to 3, do this. Or else, if number is not equal to this, just print this. This is the simple flow of this code. Okay, so where can we use this if else condition? For example, while login, if login successful, do this, execute first statement. If not, execute that statement. For very simple. So this is all about nested if and else statement. Hope you understand. So in this video, we are going to discuss about functions in Kotlin. You can already see we have a function over here. This is our main function. Anything we write inside this will be executed. You already know this. This is very simple. From first day itself we are discussing about it. Now we will make our own functions. We can make our own functions as well. Now let us just make a simple function. As you can see, fun keyword is used to make function. In different languages we use different keywords. For example, in Python we use def, okay, but in Kotlin we use fun keyword. So this is just a syntax. So now I will make a function which just print hello world. Okay. So say, don't worry, I will explain this. Just a minute. Okay. So I will just correct this. Okay. You can see I have declared a function over here. Okay. So you can compare this and this. Both have a bracket. Yes, both have a bracket. Okay. So both have a fun keyword. Yes, both have a fun keyword. But main, you can see instead of main I have written something else. Okay, so what is this? This is the function name. I have given a default name for my function. You can give any name to your function. Okay, so this is say hello. Mainly if you want to give a name, it is better approach to give a name what the code is exactly doing. For example, my code is saying hello guys. Okay, so my function name is hello, say hello. It is better approach to make it readable, just to make it readable, nothing else. Now I will call this function over here. Just I will call this function. Now I have called this function over here in main. So what will happen? Hello guys has been executed. Why it is so? This function is written here. Now I will call this function over here. So this code will be executed. Okay, so uh, function are basically code that has been executed only when needed. Okay, consider you want to print hello world 1,000 times. Now I can just copy the function again and again. See here, you can see I have called this function multiple times. 1 2 3 4. Okay, and just run the code. So you can see the hello world is printed multiple times. Okay, so what is happening is the function has some code that will be executed when you call the function name along with this bracket. So this is all about function with no parameters and no return types. You will understand what are return types and parameters later on. Now let us discuss about function with parameters. This is very important. Now let me just create another function. Okay, now let me just name it name. Okay, let me just name it name. That's all. Okay, now here I want to pass some data. Okay, it will take input as name. Okay, so I will give it as my name. So my name is of string type because if you want to store a multiple character data, you will store it in string format. This is very basic. We have already learned in, I think, data types video. Okay, so let me just open the parenthesis and let me just write the code. I will just print the name. Very simple. Let me just print my name. You will understand this. Wait a moment. I will teach you properly. Let me just write this name. I will pass the name. Okay, I will pass a name. Okay, now let me just run this code. Okay, now I will tell you what is happening. Okay, so I have created a function. Okay, which takes a input, so it takes name is stored in string format. Okay, name is stored in string format. Okay, So we were calling the function over here. Now we can pass some data as well. Okay, now we can pass some data as well, only of type string. Okay, if I pass integer, the code will give an error, but we can pass string. Now what this name function is doing is, it is taking this name, that is my name, and just printing it. Okay, so when I call this function name, so I call this function name in my main function and just pass a value Akshay. What is happening? It is just printing. Very simple code. Now let me just remove this and give it blank. What will happen? No value passed for parameter my name. It is saying you declared a parameter and it cannot be empty. Okay, so please give me some value so I can just execute my further code. Okay, so very simple. Now I will just give it something and it will execute. Let me just summarize. This type of function is called function with parameters. Parameters are these are called as parameters. Okay, parameters are nothing but some input types. Okay, so these are my parameters. My name is a parameter. You can have multiple parameter as well. For example, my name comma your name. This will be string as well. Okay, this is not your name from that enemy. I'm just writing something else. Okay, now let me just remove this and write your name in the sense the parameter name. This is just like some variable. Okay, just this is just like some variable, not exactly variable, but still. Now we can pass two names, that is two arguments. uh, these are called parameters and the thing we pass are called as arguments. Okay, I will just pass something. Okay, now you can see this and this two things have been printed. Okay, so I made a function which takes two parameters, my name and your name, from the user. Okay, so from here it is taking two names, one and two, and it is just printing this. So where I have called this function, I called it here. So this is all about function with parameters. So these are called as parameters. So now I have written a code which takes parameters. Okay, so this is a different function. It just adds some number. Okay, it takes two parameters, two numbers, a and b, and just prints the sum of these two numbers. For example, I have passed 10 and 20. It just prints the sum of this. Okay, so this is 30. This is an example for parameterized function. Okay, parameterized function. Now I will make a magic. Okay, just wait for a moment. Okay, now let me just run the code. Okay, you can see 30 is printed. What I have done. So this is called function with parameters with return types. Okay, this is called function with parameters with return types. Okay, what are these return types? Now consider you want to pass something from the function. So I have taken two numbers from the user, 10 and 20. So A and B. Now two numbers have been passed in this function. Now what I am doing is I am returning a plus b. I am returning a plus b, the value of a plus b. For example, add has two numbers 10 and 20. So 10 and 20. 10 plus 20 can be considered as 30. So this function will return the value 30. Now what I am doing is I am making a variable a and it is saving the value 30 and I am just printing the value a. Did not understand? I will teach you again, okay? So I have declared a variable which basically stores add 10 and 20. So 10 and 20 is passed in this function, okay? So 10 and 20 is passed in this function. You can see over here. This is normal para parameter. This is normal parameter. Now what my function is doing is it is returning the sum of these values a and b. So what is 10 and 20? So it is returning the sum 10 plus 20, that is 30. So it is returning the sum 10 plus 20, that is 30. Now this 30 cannot directly be accessed because if I only keep this as it is no use. So I am storing it in a variable named a and just printing the value for a. So this will just return the value and we just printed this value. So what is this? This is called as return type. Return type in the sense these both are integer values. Now I want to return an integer value. Some sum of integer will be integer as well. For example, 10 plus 20 is 30. So 30 is integer as well. So I am returning 30. So this is all about function with return types. So very simple. I am just returning a integer value. This is an acknowledgement saying that I am returning an integer value. Please look forward. Okay. So this returns 10 plus 20 and I have just stored this in a variable called a and I have just printed the value for a. Okay. Let me just summarize again. This is little tricky. I have made a function which takes two parameters a and b and our function will return a value integer. So this function is returning the value of a plus b, the sum of two numbers we have taken from parameters. Now to access the parameter in our main function, we have declared a variable a. So this add function will return a plus b, that is sum of two numbers 10 and 20, that will be 30. This 30 will be stored in the variable a because it is a variable val, so it will be stored in val. Okay, so the output is 30. The 30 is stored here and we have just printed the output. So very simple. So this was all about functions. So this is some important topic. If you don't understand now, you will understand later, but still you should have a general idea. Even if you understand these basic examples, it is more than enough for later on course. Now just subscribe the channel for supporting me to make more content. Okay, so this is all about our functions. So if you understand this, do like the video. So it was very easy. Don't forget to add this acknowledgement, the return type. You should specify the return type. For example, if you are returning a string, you should specify a string as well. Okay, let me just take a simple example. I will just return a string. Okay, I will just remove this parameter. I will just specify the type as string. Okay, now I will call this function in I need to store this value. Okay, first I need to store this value. Okay, now let me just print a. Okay, now let me just print this code. Okay, you can see hello has been printed. So the return type over here is string, so I have specified string. So this is how we declare the functions. Okay, so this is a string return type. Last example was about integer return type. Okay, so I have stored this return type, that is hello, in my variable a. So this is the general flow of this code. So this is all about functions. So see you in the next video. In last class, we have discussed about conditional statement that is nested. Today, we are going to discuss some similar type of topic. Example, you have many conditions. You cannot write else if, else if again and again. So, we have a better approach here. So, let me just declare a variable. Variable will be age. So, my age is 20, so I am just writing 20. Okay. So, now I could use if else statement, but we have a better approach, that is when condition. Okay, so in when condition we need to pass the variable, that is our age. We open brackets. Now assume that we want to do task for multiple conditions, like for 20 do this, for 21 do this, for 22 do this. Okay, so for 20 I will write a condition over here. Okay, if the age is 20, I want to just print, hey, it's 20. Now for 21 I want to print, it's 21, it's 21. Okay, and finally for 22 I want to print, it's 22. Okay, I know you are not understanding right now. Just wait a moment. I will explain you. So, okay. Now, what's happening? I have declared a variable val of age 20. Okay. So, when the age is 20, in this when, I pass the age, that is this. In the age, we have 20. Now, this 20 will come under this, you can see over here in this bracket, and check where 20 exists. Okay, now here we have 20. Now it will check where is 20. This is 20. No. Is this 20? No. Is this 20? Yes. So this code will be executed. This bracket will be executed after 20. After this arrow, you can see this will be executed. Now let us just run the code. Hey, it's 20. Now for example, I have changed the age to 21. What will be the output? Hey, it's 21. Hey, it's 21. This is the output. So this is when we use our when condition. Okay, so very good. Now what about else statement? We used to use a final condition else if 20, 21, 22. Apart from this, any number exists, what should it do? So here we do the same. We use a else condition. We use else condition, and this is very simple. We just use this arrow. You use this arrow and open the brackets and just write and just write print statement, that is I don't know. Okay, now let me just revise the code. We have a variable age, that is 21. When, in this when, we have passed this age. You can see this is the basic syntax. You need to write this compulsory. When is a keyword, so it is compulsory. Okay, so we just pass age in this bracket and open a flower bracket in which we declare the conditions. Okay, so when age is 20, do this. When age is 20, do this. When age is 21, do this. When age is 22, do this. If none of this exists, do this. So if the age is 210, you can see it prints I don't know. Okay, so very simple example. This is how we perform nesting without using if and else. Okay, so in last class we have already discussed about if and else nested conditions. So in this video we have already discussed about when condition uses and use cases. So it is very simple to write like this instead of using else if block. Okay, so this just makes the code very short. So now I will take another example. Okay, so very simple example. This is example number 2. It is just same concept. You will understand this better while coding. Let us just write a code. Let us just take planet. Let the planet be Earth. Okay. Now we will use a when condition. So when is declared like this. So this is the basic syntax. Now we need to pass planet. We need to pass planet. Okay. Now basically now if the planet is Earth, I think I have written the wrong spelling. Okay. Now let me just correct this. Okay. Huh. So if the planet is Earth, I want to print hello Earth. Hello Earth. Okay. But if the planet is Mars, I would like to print hello Mars. Okay. But there are many planets apart from Mars and Earth. So I can't write all conditions just for instance. Just assume. So I will write an else condition. So the else condition will be hello stranger. So this is all about when condition. Now let me just execute this. Okay, so you can see our variable was Earth. Now I have passed this planet. Now it will check. I mean inside this. So inside this planet we have Earth. Now when condition will check. So the Earth matches here. Earth will be printed. Today we will be working on for loops. Okay, for example, you want to write the numbers from 1 to 10. You cannot just use print statement like print 1, print 2, print 3. For example, I will just write and show you. Okay, so this is 1. It will print 1. Now let me just copy this, print 2. You can see 1 and 2 is been printed. But what if we want to print from 1 to 1000? This is practically impossible to write this many print statement for making just a simple code. For this, we use for loop. For loop help us to build logic in such a way that it will help us to write code like print from 1 to 100 or maybe iterate something. This for loop is very useful in these scenarios. So today we will be taking very basic example of for loop. You practice that, you will understand for loop basically. When we will be building bigger apps, you will understand it very deeply. For now, just let us take a basic understanding of for loop. Now, first, the program we will be working will be, it will print the numbers from 1 to 20. That's all. So let us start. Let us initialize a for loop with a for keyword. So you can see I have used for keyword, F-O-R, for keyword. Now we will open a brackets and declare a variable of type int. So I is a variable of type int. Now we need to specify the range for I. So I in. Okay, now we will specify a range. I want to print the numbers from 1 to 20. So this is my range. From 1 to 20. So this is my range. You can assume these two dots as writing 2. 1 to 20. We write, for example, 1 to 20. Write the numbers from 1 to 20. So this is 2. Okay, just assume for now. Later on you will understand it better way. Okay, now let us just start. Now we will print the value of I. Let me just run the code. Okay, now you can see from 1 to 20 the output is been printed. Okay, now let me explain the flow of code again. As you already know, it was difficult to understand in first go. Okay, now let us see. I have declared a for variable. For variable is basically used to iterate. I mean, for example, we are writing a code from 1 to 20, so we cannot just write print statement print 1, print 2, print 3. We are just using a condition where the variable is automatically incremented. Okay, so for loop automatically increments the value of I. Okay, how it increments? It increments from 1 to 20. So basically the first value of I will be 1. Okay, so the first value of I will be 1. As soon as this condition is been completed, I mean as soon as this is completed, the value of I will change to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So this goes on till the range of 20. Okay, so this is all about for loop. So let me just summarize it again for better understanding. So we use a for keyword to iterate over, okay, a variable, iterate over a variable. So the variable we have declared is I in this case. Okay, so I is a variable of type int. Now we need to specify the range from which it will start iteration. Okay, so my range is from 1 to 20. Okay, iterate my variable from 1 to 20, so the first value will be 1. So first value has been printed. Now as soon as the first value is printed, it goes up again and checks. We have to iterate till 20, so 2 comes in the condition, yes. So in second loop it will print 2, in third loop it will print 3, in fourth loop it will print 4, in fifth one. Okay, so this goes on till the value 20. As soon as the value reaches 20, the range is satisfied, so the loop will come out. Okay, that means this code will be executed completely and skips to the next part. For example, let me just write hello world, and I will just reduce the range to maybe 5. Okay, now let us just run the code. Very simple. You can see over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is printed first, then hello world is printed. Okay, it is not like first this line will be executed, then this according to that logic this hello world should be printed 5 times. For example, if this code breaks, the next line will be this. Okay, that means this loop will be terminated. I mean, this block of code will be terminated only after the execution of this range. Okay, that means it will run 5 times, then it will terminate. This code will be terminated, and then the next line of code will be introduced or executed. So this is all about for loop. Now let me just summarize the code very easily. First we use for loop. We cannot write the numbers again and again, so we are using for loop to iterate over something, iterate over a variable. In this case this is of type I, integer. Now we will specify range. Okay, so with the in keyword we specify the range from 1 to 5. So this is basically like writing 2 like this, 1 to 20. So this is from 1 to 5. So this is the beginning range, this is the ending range. So 1 is the beginning range, 5 is the ending range. Now let us just print the number, that is the value of I. In first go the value of I will be 1. In first loop the value of I will be 1. Now it checks again. If my range is completed, that is the ending range 5, is it completed? No. So it will go up and check what is my current value. It is 1. So what I should do? I should increment it. Now the value is 2. It will be printed. It goes again up over here and checks if my range is satisfied, that is if I have reached the value 5. No. So again it goes and prints the value 3. So basically here, somewhere over here, this condition has been applied. I is equals to I plus 1. So here somewhere over here this condition has been applied, so I is just getting incremented. So this is how the deep logic works over here. So this is all about for loop. We will be learning this again and again, so you will get familiar. For now, just understand the basics of for loop. Okay, so this is all about for loop.